Matatu Owners Association deeply regrets the loss of life following the recent spate of road crashes. We send our heartfelt condolences to all those who lost their loved ones, and to those who were injured, we wish them speedy recovery. As a major stakeholder, we have come up with recommendations on what we are going to do to reduce road carnage. We have advised all our members to abide by our recommendations as a way of self-regulation. We have also given some suggestions to the ministry, which, if implemented, will go a long way in reducing road crashes. Some of the recommendations are here. All SACCOs should have a command center fully equipped so that they can monitor their vehicles round the clock. In town service, such centers will reduce congestion because vehicles entering or leaving town will be controlled. There should be a way of confirming that drivers change after required hours of driving to reduce fatigue-related accidents for our long-distance operators. We suggest a card with two drivers' photographs. When they interchange, an entry is made by a supervisor or an inspector from the SACCO or company. The enforcement agents will be able to check whether they exchange driving or not. To add to this, we recommend that land be bought around Sachangwan Black Spot, where a rest place will be built for all vehicles before descending or ascending, either downhill or uphill. SACCOs and companies should employ more inspectors along their routes of operation. The inspectors will be able to inspect the vehicle's condition as well as interview passengers to know how the vehicle was being driven. Such records will be filed and returns submitted to National Transport and Safety Authority. Number 4, PSV vehicles which travel for over 200 kilometers should be inspected by SACCO or company mechanic prior to commencing the journey, and an entry be made in a logbook that it will always be in the vehicle. This calls for every SACCO or company to have its own garage or outsource a mechanic from a reputable firm. The National Transport and Safety Authority should have a research department. This department will research on major causes of crashes or accidents, come up with ways of addressing the vice. Number 6, a training center for PSV, passenger service vehicle drivers, should be established by the ministry. We recommend training by the National Youth Service that we have approached and are willing. Number 7, all briefcase SACCOs and companies should be registered. To vet them, each SACCO should be required to file annual audited accounts. This will phase out the cartels. To add to this, SACCO leaders should be owners of PSV vehicles and not otherwise. Each SACCO should file quarterly returns to National Transport and Safety Authority. The number of vehicles required for a PSV SACCO or company to be licensed should be increased so that small SACCOs will merge with big ones to avoid a lot of competition, which breeds cartels and also at the same time breeds unfair competition amongst the players within that route. But this will be basically it will be to those who are meeting the required numbers. The number of vehicles required by a PSV SACCO or company to be licensed should be increased so that small circles, I think that's the same one I'd say. And then the ninth one is all along distance circles and companies should maintain a passenger manifest for each journey traveled. 10. The government should now enforce cashlight travel to reduce corrupt practices on our roads. The wearing of crew uniform should be enforced. Most conductors stopped wearing uniform because of extortion by enforcement agents. Operators to test our crew for drug and substance abuse and keep a record of their medical history. Number 13, SACCOs and companies to keep database of their crew to identify blacklisted crew with their backgrounds. Passenger service vehicles to have a diversion at Kibunja, this is the infamous Salga area, and join the highway after Salga to avoid the hill stretch where accidents or crashes have been happening frequently. Number 15 is to map out black spots and advise drivers plying the routes. 16, SACCOs and companies to do a proper classification of drivers before deployment based on familiarity with the area and preferred hours of driving. Number 17, SACCOs and companies that do not have customer feedback system as required by the NTSA Act should have it in place with immediate effect. The customer care number should be displayed conspicuously on all PSV vehicles, either on either side of the bodies. That ends the official. Now, since we are talking about the accidents that have been happening,